instructional portion of the video, you can get tabs and backing tracks to practice along to if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Let me talk about my equipment for a second here. This is I think it's a Korean-made Epiphone Emperor Regent stock pickup. I have this little bass cut switch engaged, which is kind of useful. I'm going into my board using my Strymon Deco for a little bit of compression slash saturation, my Strymon Flint for a little bit of reverb in the room. I am using a Mototone Tweed Pro clone and a Rode NTR active ribbon mic. That's what you're hearing. Okay, so let's talk about this lesson. This lesson, there's actually quite a few things going on. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the background chord progression, because it is a pretty cool little chord progression. It is D minor 7, 5, 7, 5, 6, 5, back and forth to E minor 7. And that little pattern I'm doing there, you know, you could do any number of patterns, any kind of quasi-jazzy thing. Kind of separating that bass. It does that 4 times, so four bars of that key. And then it moves to F, E flat, B flat. So that's 8, 10, 10. Pull that one down a little to sweeten it. There's my E flat. There's my B flat. And back. And I kind of chose that because this lesson is about taking your standard scales, your standard major and minor, and modifying them into the modes. So I needed to make modal progressions. I'm not going to go too far into the theory behind these modal progressions because that's a whole nother subject. Trust me, I will cover it later. But let's look at, so for the first 4 bars, you're in D Dorian, which is a modification of our D minor scale. There's our standard D minor scale. Let's look at that. 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7. That's standard minor. Now the important thing to me is I think of my modes as just variations of that. Dorian to me is just a minor scale with a raised 6th degree. 4, 5. I'm not going to play that note there. There he is now. And boy, what a difference a fret makes. It's really impressive how you just move one note a little further away and the whole shape of the snake changes. So that little Dorian melody I play, there it is, kind of in a closed position. Let's look at it that way, and then I'm going to look at it the way I actually played it, where I kind of slide it across the fretboard. 5 on the high E. That is 8, 6, 8, 6, 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. There's the Dorian note now, because that B natural can appear over there, landing on the 7 of the D. And then there's a little 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 8. Now, truth be told, yes, I harmonized it as well. I will include the harmony in the tab. I'm not going to spend time on it right now because it's not really the mission of this lesson. I'm just trying to show you, hey, if you have a minor scale, just change one note and it becomes Dorian. Here it is up top, B natural. Because to me, like, I know that modes are a very confusing and large subject, and I aim to simplify them by just being like, hey, think of a mode as just a modification of a major scale or a minor scale. Again, any teacher can only tell you what works for them. That's what works for me. So that's what I do on the first 4 bars, that little melody. And when it goes up to the F, B flat, F, E flat, B flat, just cause my other favorite mode is Mixolydian, I modulated to that key. That is going to be the Mixolydian mode, which is a variation of the major scale. So let's look at an F major scale. That is, where is that? 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10. A lovely F major scale. Now Mixolydian is just a slight modification of the major scale. All it is a major scale with a flatted 7th degree. 4, 5, 6, here we go. There he is. Great scale, very Grateful Dead, very Allman Brothers scale. Yeah, very kind of funky, kind of hippie scale. It's major, but it's got that little bit of... it has a little more stank on it than standard major does. And so I kind of take the same figure, that kind of kind of figure, and put it up here. To kind of create that melody. So that is 10 on the B, 8, 10, 8, going back and forth between the B and the G. 10, 8, 10. That is 8, 9, 8, 9. It's hard to talk it. And then I had to change the phrase a little bit because just composition-wise, it would be too boring if it was just like the exact same phrase twice. I had to put a different punctuation mark on the end. That's just land on that 10, and then a kind of little bluesy. There it is. That's all I did there. And then, yeah, it goes back around again. Now, let's just switch gears and let me show you, how I did this actually. Yeah, so there's the Dorian Run again. I like to, especially if I'm playing a big jazz guitar, I notice that my favorite jazz players, Wes Montgomery, Django Reinhardt, everything to them is a little more linear across the fretboard this way, which definitely changes the way licks come out. You know, that works too, but I like the way if you kind of stretch things across the fretboard, they'll slide. Having to move around kind of changes the vibe. So what do we got there? 10 on the B, 8, 6, 8, 6, 5, 6, changing strings to the G, 9, 7, 9, 7, 5, 7, 5, 4, 5, back up to that 7, all the way down to 2. Really slidey. And I still do the same 5, 5, 5, 6, 8. That's right. So there's that lick. And then when it goes Mixolydian, again, so you know, I know what mods I need to do to the scale in this way. I'm like, okay, if this is F Mixolydian, I can find it kind of starting. Well, there's F. I know it has a flatted 7th and a 6th and stuff. That's how I can find the scale in a linear fashion. So that lick, 10, 8, 6, 8, and then 6, 4, 6, and then here we go with the little Jerry Garcia thing there, a little 4, 3, 4, 3, 5, and then that little blues turn is now, that's, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, and then back to the Dorian thing, and so on. And then I think there's one final little turn that's just a, I had to, kind of end it. It almost sounds like the little intro I made up is like a cheesy theme song for like some 80s TV show, or not even, maybe a talk show. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds kind of like a cheesy talk show theme. I can see it, actually. Wide collars, mutton chops. Okay. That ending is 8, 10, 13, 15. There it all is as it works out. But I guess that's a cool melody and everything, but the main gist of this is to look at your modes as though there's the slight modifications of major or minor. And I chose my two favorite modes, Dorian and Mixolydian, because those to me are the most useful ones. I mean, I don't play a lot of metal, so Phrygian's not really going to enter into it. Don't really use Locrian. So those are the, Lydian has its place sometimes, but Dorian and Mixolydian I use a lot because they do actually show up a lot in classic rock and folk rock and all the kind of music I like. So I hope that makes sense to you. Good luck with that, and thanks for watching.